Welcome back to the Marinaut podcast, the only podcast by gamers for gamers. I'm Anthony, a gamer, and I'm joined by Patrick and Teddy, also gamers. Today we're not going to talk about video games because the last time we did it cut our views by about half.
Yeah, no more video game talk. This is no longer the podcast for gamers by gamers.
This is not the podcast.
We'll see what it is after this after we film this. We'll see what it is.
Yeah, after this one we'll determine that. But this is our first time recording a podcast in I think a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
We took a bit of a hiatus. I don't remember why. I think here's the problem. I think part of it is we had like multiple videos kind of in the tube being edited at the same time as well as a podcast. And I mean, anytime you're editing videos, it's a ton of space, it's a ton of like a memory on your computer, particularly hour-long podcasts. And so we just didn't have space to record. Like I didn't have enough room on my computer to record another podcast. So it kind of prevented us from recording another, but we're back in action and we're here to talk about kind of anything other than games, I think.
Yeah. You guys ever played Monopoly?
Monopoly. I hate Monopoly. That's not a fun game for me.
It sucks.
That's the one with like... Oh, wait, do you remember... Oh, I don't know if I can talk about that. Does that give away like I was going to talk about Monopoly.
What is it?
It was a commercial that I remember seeing as a kid involving the Monopoly man, but I feel like it would 100% like reveal my geographical location.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait, tell me. You gotta tell me
and I'll edit it out. Yeah,
exactly.
It was an old it was like a Six Flags commercial with the Monopoly man. I mean, he wasn't the Monopoly man, but he looked like him, and it played like.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Wait, is that?
That's just the Six Flags guy, dude.
Is that just a nationwide commercial?
Yeah.
I think that's just the nationwide, like the Six Flags guy.
The Six Flags dude looks like the Monopoly guy, if I recall. Let me see.
I think so. Okay, we're not editing that out. That can stay in. Do you remember that commercial?
Wait, no, he doesn't. He doesn't even look like the Monopoly.
Yes, he does. He looks like an old man.
Let me see. Hold on. I gotta
Do not Google him.
Why?
Six Flags guy.
Oh God!
What?
I remember him. Looking...
Yeah, he was dancing in front of the bus.
Is that a mask?
I get it. I think it's because
literally
because of the bow tie.
Is that a mask? Is there a person under there, or is that like?
I think it's a mask.
Oh my God,
there's definitely makeup. You can tell that much.
That's easily one of the scariest things I've seen. Probably.
Why did they think that was a good?
He's kind of terrifying.
Like thing.
There's something's very like disturbing about that. Something's very unnatural about that image. And I don't know what it is.
Holy shit. I like that it's so horrific you like edited it in your memory to look more like the Monopoly man.
I tried to
way more friendly looking.
My memory like tried to accommodate him to something more.
Oh my God, look at his moves.
That was a Discord gif of it. Yeah, that's like burned into my mind. I vividly remember this. I don't remember it being scary, but it's definitely not pleasant now.
Oh my God.
This feels like a nightmare.
God.
I
remember that app.
Do you guys ever get like, I don't know. I feel like I get very stressed out pretty easily. Do you guys ever get really stressed out and then you have like a stress dream that night?
No.
I don't think that's like an official term.
Stress dream? I don't think that's like an example. What's the level of stress we're talking?
Well, it's just like, I don't know, it's like normal level stress. Just like, ooh, gotta turn in this assignment. But then I'll go to bed and I'll have dreams that like just inherently like make me more stressed out or about stressful situations. Like say I'm having a dream about like needing to finish a paper. And in the dream, I will like start the introductory paragraph and it never works. And then I'll delete it and start it again and it never works. And then delete it and do that over and over and over for forever. And then I wake up and it's like 6 a.m. And I don't feel like I slept at all because, I it felt like an
Oh,
hour of like just
yeah.
stressful, like,
Honestly, I kind of get what you mean.
you know what I'm
Like
talking
I
about?
feel like I've kind of had those nights where I'm really stressed about something, and I like feel like I sporadically like waking up through the night, kind of like dreaming the same thing over and over. I kind of get what you mean.
Yeah,
I kind of get what you mean. Yeah, I've had those nights. I've had a couple like this week, honestly.
they're awful.
Have fun, bro. Is this just a common thing now?
Well, actually, I saw someone talking about this back in March when like people were getting put into like the stay-at-home order, and people were talking about how they were having stress dreams from that. And I think it has something to do with like the monotony of your daily schedule. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. I know that uh, I in high school, one of the first jobs I had was at a fast food restaurant, and I was recommended this position by a friend who was very passionate about that particular fast food restaurant. And so I started, and the first thing they had me do was like an 8-hour shift immediately, which was stupid. Um, and I went through the 8-hour shift. It was like lunch rush, dinner rush, whatever, go home. And that night, because the position I worked in this fast food place was I was in the back working fries and nuggets at the window and then bagging everything. So I would put them all into the bag and hand it out, and you had to work like really, really fast, especially during the lunch and dinner rushes. And so that night I had a dream where I was just filling up bags and handing it out the window. Like I dreamed that I was back at work for 8 hours. And I would have this dream like every time I worked. And so you'd wake up you feel like you didn't get any sleep at all. Like you wouldn't feel rested.
Shit.
And I asked my friend and I was like, what's going on here? Like, did you have these dreams too? And he's like, oh, you mean the Wendy's nightmares? Yeah, I had that too.
No way.
I don't know if that's just
Oh
like,
my god. That's horrific, bro. I remember visiting you there like once.
yeah, yeah, I think you came by with our friend.
So many people in high school worked at restaurants like those. I felt like I had to visit every single one at least once, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, you
you
might
should
as
tell
well.
the story that told you about the person that worked with you there.
Oh, yeah, that's an
Ooh.
interesting story. I don't know if I've even told Teddy this, or I know I haven't told it on the podcast, but so when I worked at Wendy's, I worked with a couple coworkers who I didn't like. I don't know. I have a very bad habit of like viewing coworkers as just coworkers. Like I don't
No,
like
I get that.
like it feels very scummy, but it's like I'm just here to work, man. Like I don't really have time
Yep.
for like casual conversation. Like I really just want money. Like I'm just trying to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
And so I didn't like make any friends while I worked there, but there were a couple girls who like a couple people who like actively tried to befriend me, and I just like wasn't having it. This sounds awful. I sound like such a scumbag. I don't know.
I mean, you're working at Wendy's. Like, what do
I
you
don't
want
know.
from me?
I don't know. But and granted, there were a couple kids there who I actually really did get along with. But this one girl wanted to take a picture with me on my last day there, which I found very odd. But I was like, yeah, whatever. And we took the photo. And then I left. I quit working there because I went to college. And our friend who we went to high school with went to a different college, and he was in class one day, and he notices that on the computer of the girl next to him, on the home screen, is a photo of me at Wendy's. And he was like, you know this guy? And she's like, oh yeah, I used to work with him. Apparently this girl, like, granted, I'm not her main home screen. It's one of those home screens that like cycles through, I guess, your camera roll.
Oh, right.
But like one of the main photos that cycles through was that picture. And I don't know, that's just like the weirdest like small world kind of coincidence thing.
That is weird.
Made me very
That's
uncomfortable.
crazy. Yeah, that's a little bit weird. Wow. Huh. Dang, I would feel weird about that, to be honest. If any of my coworkers took a picture with me and then had it on their home screen at all. That's freaky.
I mean, she was a very nice girl. And
Yeah.
if you're listening, if you're someone that worked at Wendy's with someone named Anthony and you took a selfie with them and you have that photo on your computer, I want you to know that I don't hate you. I don't know. When I'm working 8 hours, I'm just not in the mood for chit chat, I guess. I don't know how to phrase it. That doesn't make me sound like a scumbag.
Oh my god, dude. That was the best segment of this podcast so far. Holy cow.
Was the Wendy's
That's
incident?
hilarious. It's the Wendy's incident, bro. No, but I totally get what you mean by that. I'm like, I try and just like avoid the people if I have to, you know, like I just kind of slip in and out as quick as I can so that I just don't get caught up in conversation with anybody. Because like I'm just there to make a dime, bro. You know?
No, I
Give
get.
me a nickel.
Yeah,
That's all
I
I'm
get
saying.
that. Because like I don't. It's so hard to describe without sounding like, yeah, I don't know. I'm better than you. Like I don't see myself as better than them. I just don't have
Yeah.
time for conversation, I guess.
Exactly, bro.
I'm the same way in
I
class,
get
in
you.
college too. Like once I'm in class, like I'm there, I'm taking notes, I'm listening to the professor. I don't really have time to like goof around and whatnot. But sometimes I
Activate
try.
school mode, bro.
I was in class recently and the professor said like it was kind of impromptu, but he was like, "Oh, we're gonna have a debate in class." And I said, I was like, I've always hated like in class debates because I can never get over the feeling of like this is a personal attack. Like obviously it's not. I'm arguing for something that I don't believe in. I'm arguing a
Right.
belief that I was assigned, but whatever you have like whatever your rebuttal is, I'm going to interpret as a personal attack. And everyone kind of
Yeah.
laughed at that. That was just kind of I said this out loud and to the class and they all kind of laughed at it. And then
Right.
during the debate, this one student who I've never spoken to said something along the lines of, so I don't think the problem is that humans don't understand it. I think the problem is that you don't understand it.
Oh shit! Whoa!
Was hard not to interpret as a
Roasted.
personal attack.
Yeah. What?
I'm sure she didn't mean it that way.
Holy fuck! What did you say?
I couldn't say anything. It wasn't my turn.
Oh right. Oh right.
Had to sit
Did
there
you
and take
win
it.
or did you lose because of that?
No, everyone voted for her because that was the closing statement.
Oh my god.
Whoever gets the last word wins.
That's how it is.
That sucks. I remember doing like that in my high school, and it's always like some people take it way too seriously.
Yes.
Don't follow the rules, like the personal attacks, and then usually the person who does the personal attacks usually ends up winning, just because it's more convincing somehow.
It is, yeah. And the moderators don't. The moderators, I mean the teacher.
Teacher moderator.
They don't
Chris
like
Wallace
jump
of your
in.
classroom.
Oh, Patrick, do you remember the egg sandwich story from speech class?
Yeah.
Patrick and I were in a speech class together in high school, and we had to do it's not even a speech, I guess. It's like a
It's
presentation.
like yeah, you had to like give a presentation on how to do something.
Yeah, yeah. And yours was how to make an egg sandwich.
It's like the only thing I know how to cook.
You came in with your little skillet and your ingredients, and you wore like the button-up fire like Guy Fieri shirt and like the visor with the fake hair and the sunglasses, which made it very funny to me. But you were up there cooking, and it never crossed my mind that we were taking this class with people we didn't know. We went to a pretty small school, and the general assumption was usually like, "Oh, I know all these people," but I think we had to have been sophomores, and a lot of them were freshmen, so they had no experience with us. It was like their first time meeting us. And so
Right.
Patrick's up there cooking his egg sandwich, and something goes wrong. I think the egg like slides out of the skillet or something. And I just I remember just making fun of you from the crowd, like from the audience. Like I started heckling because we're close. Patrick and I are buddies.
Right, right.
But the students didn't know this. And so there's a group of kids at our school who for a little while like genuinely thought I was a bully for making fun of this like kid who was kind of nervous trying to make an egg sandwich.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh my god.
I got a C on that project, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah, I remember I got a C, and I was heartbroken.
Oh man.
I remember my presentation was how to make guacamole, but I didn't bring a cutting board. I didn't bring a cutting board to I forgot a cutting board because it like couldn't fit in my backpack. And so I made guacamole on like a fold out like table, like a plastic fold out table we got from the closet. And I finished the presentation. And there's, it's all stained from like the avocado and the peppers and everything. And I like offered it to the class and no one wanted to eat it because it was made on this disgusting table from like the warehouse room. So I had like a bowl of guacamole in my locker for the rest of the day that I would eat from between classes.
You ate it?
Yeah, no one else would.
I would have just thrown it away, bro.
I
Oh
also
my
didn't
God.
perform great on that one.
Yeah, what did you get?
I can't remember. My grade didn't stick with me like Patrick's did.
I remember in high school, I don't know if I've told this story yet, but there was this one project we had to do on Vikings, and me and my buddy in high school were like, okay, we'll partner up for this, and our teacher told us that it was supposed to just basically, I can't remember, it was so long ago, but he said like extra points would be rewarded for creativity and like thinking, outside the box and delivering the presentation in a unique way, like that would get you extra points. So me and my buddy were like, okay, let's make a rap. Let's make a Viking rap. And this guy, my buddy, spent like a whole day working on a beat for the Viking rap. I wrote the lyrics. I had to like, do a little bit of research and try and like fucking get it, at least some information in there. I didn't think it was too bad. I thought we did a pretty good job. It's this horrible Viking rap, it's fun. And we're so excited because it's like so fun. Like we go to my house and we like film it with a couple of the boys and we're like acting it out. Like we're having a blast, It's high school boys pretending they're Vikings. We're having a blast. And I'm editing it later on and I'm like, I'm having a blast. This is great. This is gonna A+, dude. Like this is gonna be the best project anybody has ever turned in. And so I turn it in, like it plays for the class, everybody's like, okay, that was pretty fun, like a little cringy. Probably a lot of people are probably cringing pretty hard, but me and my buddies were laughing. Our teacher seemed to like it. We were like, okay, we're in, that's an A+ right there. Mm-hmm. And then like a couple days go by and we get our graded rubric and we got a D+ on it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, bro. Like, and it was marked down as like basically little to no information, like nothing here of substance. Like, but it was like really fun. We were expecting, I guess, to get compensated for the points like that we spent making it creative, but like it didn't really factor into the grading at all. So we just bombed it. We just bombed it so hard. I've never felt more discouraged in my life.
I've watched that video a couple times, and I mean, as much as I love it, there's like zero knowledge to be gained.
It's terrible. I don't know what we were thinking.
Such a good clip.
We were in such a good headspace making that thing, bro. We really thought we were crafting like Mozart's Requiem Mass, dude. It was insane. It's just not good. It's a D+, like well deserved, I think.
That's such a defeating feeling, like turning in something that you're so proud of and just getting shut down. Or the opposite, where you turn in something that you know is terrible.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Just a lot of my experience. What is the worst grade you received in school?
I've got an F.
Like for a class or for like a project or something, or either?
Either, yeah. It could be a class grade, like a final, or it could be like just a test grade.
Oh, I've got an F on a final before.
Did you
I've
just
got an F on a project before. It's happened a couple times.
is an F below 50?
I think for my school it was below like 60.
Okay, then I've had
I
an F
can't
before. I
remember.
had a 32. I don't know why. If it's below 60, then I don't know why I asked.
Wait, you got a 32 on a class or a project?
On a math test when I was like,
Oh,
I don't know why I said I was gonna say used to, which would be an inaccurate statement. I'm not good at math. That's not a past
neither am I.
statement. And I
Neither am I.
I just
Wait, what
bombed.
class? What was this for? Like high school?
No, this was 6th grade algebra, and I have never failed a test worse than that one. I remember like walking home from school just in tears, like so defeated. And then we switched schools the next year, and I had to retake that class again, and I also like barely passed it.
That's so bad. Were we in the same math class, Anthony?
I
I don't think we
probably
were.
they put me in like the lowest one they had.
Oh yeah, then I was with you. That's for
Yeah, I
sure.
got put in. I remember in middle school we had to do like it was like you had to take a test, and based on that test, you either got put in algebra or pre-algebra. Do you remember that?
Yes,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I remember
oh, yeah.
I didn't do good on that test,
I failed that.
I didn't.
so I
do
got
good on
put into
that.
pre-algebra. But I've recovered since then.
I would hope so.
God damn, bro.
I have
remember
not.
that. What a big deal that was back then. Like, who was gonna be in the algebra class and who was gonna be in the pre-algebra class? Like, such a big deal for your social status as a middle schooler.
That really was. That was a make it or break it thing for whatever reason.
Yeah. And playing like fucking sports. You have to play at least one sport.
Ooh, I didn't.
Other culture there.
I didn't meet any of those qualifications.
I
Really, middle school was like the only time I really did play sports.
yeah, me too.
Like I remember, Teddy, I played soccer with you, I think, right?
Yeah.
And then did
I
you do
played soccer with us
basketball? I
temporarily.
played basketball with somebody.
Oh yeah, I played basketball. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was a
And then
baller.
I think, yeah. Anthony,
I-
you never did
Ball.
any?
Yeah. I was on the soccer team with you guys.
Oh, you were?
Yeah,
Like,
but I was only on the. So I played basketball in 7th grade with Teddy. That's kind of like where I met Teddy.
yeah, that's right.
Because we talked about how to get the Dawnbreaker sword in Skyrim when we were supposed to
Yeah,
be like
that's right.
practicing passes or something with each other. And then in 8th grade, I played soccer with you guys, but I received a concussion not related to soccer and was
Right.
promptly
Oh, yeah.
pulled from the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tragic. We lost our best player that day.
I was not the best player.
Were you gonna be goalie? Was that what you were
Yeah,
playing?
weren't you the goalie, Anthony? That sounds familiar.
I was defender. Wait, is that a position in soccer? I don't
don't-
remember.
I don't know. I know there was like it was obviously like the offensive and defensive, like you had each team had that, like it was split in half on that.
There's
I don't remember
keeper,
like the actual names though. Yeah.
keeper, beater, seeker, quaffle. I don't remember. Those are all from Quidditch.
It's from Harry Potter. It's from Harry
I remember
Potter.
there was one game we were playing. It was a scrimmage, and Patrick and I were on the same team. Very important for the context of this. Pat and I were on the same team. I think we're both playing defense or offense. I don't remember the context. Regardless, that day we'd been talking about how cool slide tackling was, but also how it was like highly illegal to do it unless you do it properly. We were on the same team. Oh, we were on offense. I was going to shoot. I was going to shoot in the goal, and you decided to slide tackle me so that you could shoot instead.
I remember that, bro.
I've never understood why you chose to do that.
Did you make it? Did he make it at least? Like,
No,
I
he
don't remember.
missed.
No, come on. Do you remember having to do like shirts versus skins scrimmage it's soccer
Uh-huh.
practice. God, dude, that always sucked. As like a
That was
self-conscious
heartbreaking.
little fucking whatever
You
we were,
didn't want to get skins?
8th graders. Yeah, I was always like, oh my god, please don't let me be skins. And of course, the luck of God turns a blind eye to those who need it the most. And I was always skins.
I feel
Always hated
that.
it.
I
And
feel
you
like I
also
was
got all
always
fucking
skins.
like whenever you'd fall down, you get fucking like grass all over you, and I was allergic to it, so that always sucked too. It's like, oh my god, like I don't even want to play soccer.
I recently discovered that I'm allergic to turf as well, but like the kind that's like plasticky and has a little balls of like cut up tires in there.
Yeah, the rubber
Yeah.
bits.
I had to come up to school early for like some on-campus kind of orientation stuff, and we have to be led through all these like learning processes. And one of the guys who was leading it was like, "All right, like everyone go. You have to play a sport with each other. It's like a bonding activity." And me being me, I was like, "Oh, I don't want to play a sport." And he's like, "Your options are you go play like football, soccer, or frisbee." I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go play frisbee." So they took us up to like the indoor gym, the indoor field. But it turns out they meant like ultimate frisbee, which is a lot of running.
All right.
And this was after winter break, and so this is post holiday, so I'm not in the prime shape. I'm not looking my best. I'm not feeling my best. And I'm up there and I'm running and I'm like, it's getting harder to breathe. I'm like, I'm really out of shape. Like, this is worse than I thought. And so they call it, and I go back to my room and I look in the mirror, and my face is like swollen up in red and like blotchy. Turns out I'm like super allergic to turf or something.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's nuts, dude.
It was awful.
So you can't like even just playing on it. Like, did you touch it
I guess not.
besides your feet? Wow.
We were leading like a anti-racism day at my school. I don't know how else to describe it other than the anti-racism thing. And I was sitting on the turf in the field because that's where like my position was. Like that's where like my thing that I was leading was. And I was sitting on the ground, and I was wearing flip-flops, and I noticed that my feet were starting to like turn red and splotchy. I was like, "Oh, that's right. I can't touch this." So I had to play like the floor is lava out there for a bit.
Oh, that's so nasty, bro. That sucks.
It's one of those things where like if I'd been an athlete growing up, I would have known this my whole life, but I wasn't. I was a gamer.
Come on.
Gamer from birth.
I just think turf sucks too. It's like all the rubbery bits. Like, who wants to play on that? Unless it's nice to play on. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't play sports, like Anthony said, Who knows, really? Do any of us here really sport?
Patrick
Nope.
was. Patrick, you're our strongest athlete.
Yeah, in like middle school. I haven't played a sport since middle school.
You've got the history of you got football under your belt, baseball.
Oh, really? What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Football?
I played tackle football in like 6th grade. So
Oh,
nothing
really?
extreme.
What was
Yeah.
what was the
That's
nickname they
more than
gave
us,
you?
though.
It's because my nickname was Irish because I like puked on the first day of practice.
What?
And apparently, like the Irish like drink a lot or something, so they puke a bunch. I don't know. I don't understand it.
Why did like 12-year-olds have that connection? Why would 12-year-olds
Yeah,
like, oh
seriously.
yeah?
No, that was it was the coach who called me that.
Oh.
That makes sense.
That does make a
Yeah.
lot of sense.
Oh my god,
Oh.
that's terrible. I guess I played track 1 year in high school,
Oh.
so I've got 3
Yeah,
sports.
didn't you do that, Anthony?
I did track as well. That
Oh, nice, bro. Wait, what year did you do track?
8th grade. Post concussion.
Oh, I remember that.
One of my worst memories was, okay, for context, my dad is like a huge runner. My dad has run like the Boston Marathon, all this stuff. I might have to fact check that. I don't want to make claims that my dad ran the Boston Marathon if he hasn't, but I think he has. But like, I don't know. He's a huge running guy, and he was so excited when I ran track. And he came to like all my meets, and I remember normally I did like hurdles, sprints. Like I'm out there, I sprint for a bit, call it a day. But they signed me
Right.
up for like the 400-meter relay. Actually, this isn't even an
Oh,
excuse. The 400-meter relay is also just 100 meters. So I have no excuses for my performance. I came dead last, like so bad. Like we started running, and I remember. Sorry. I, in 8th grade, I had my anime phase, and so I was watching Naruto at the time. And Naruto's got this really intense soundtrack that's very like uplifting, like the underdog kind of soundtrack. And I remember I started
right.
running, and immediately I had like it was like playing in my head like the Naruto underdog, like when he changes the tide of the battle. And I'm running and I'm going pretty fast, and then I see everyone next to me pass in front of me because you're not supposed to go full speed in the beginning. You're supposed to start off kind of slow and then start going all out. But I didn't know this. So they all passed me,
Oh,
and then I'm in dead last. I watch all of them cross the finish line, and at this point, I'm like super out of breath. I can barely breathe, and I'm like limping towards the finish line.
no.
I'm not quite there. I'm starting to walk, and the ref was like, I can't end this race until you cross the line, so you really need to hurry up.
Oh my God.
And I've never
That's
felt
so
so.
brutal.
Oh my gosh.
That's brutal.
It was
Oh my God.
horrendous. It's like the only like that was the most shameful experience.
Oh my God. Did you make it?
Oh, did I cross? I had to. Yeah, he made
Yeah.
me. The ref made me.
I was gonna say I've ran a I don't know. I don't know how many meters there are, but I've done like a relay because I was when I did track in high school, I was a thrower, and I guess it was like a tradition at the school to have the throwers do a race, like a relay race, and
Oh,
it's kind of something to just kind of laugh at, I guess, because their throwers aren't fast. They throw things like they're kind of like just big dudes. Not
they're
saying I'm
strength
that big,
builds.
but yeah, like so they're not known for being like the fastest guys, but like apparently it's just what they did. So I had to do that, and I was pretty excited because I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna whatever, I'll just do it. We'll see how fast I can do this. Like whatever, I'll just give it a try. And so it's the thing where they hand you the baton or whatever, and you have to run. And so I get handed mine, bro, and I go and I'm booking it. And I'm like, I'm feeling pretty good. Like I actually passed someone on my right. I'm like, oh, okay. Like I'm going, and I like go, and I'm like, I make it around my turn, like my corner of the track, and I give it to the next guy who's supposed to go, and he just goes to the finish. And I was like, fuck yeah, that was great. Like that was awesome. I felt really good about that. And then I just hear the announcer or whoever the ref say that my team was disqualified because I ran out of the lines when I was going
Really?
around the curve. Yeah. I just ran out of the lines. Otherwise, we would have gotten like second place or something like that. But we ended up just getting disqualified. And I
No.
was the only. It was just all on me. Like I was the only one that did it. Everybody else, like, managed to stay in the lines, but I just crossed it. I guess, bro. I didn't feel like I did. I just felt so much shame. I was like, oh
That's horrible.
yeah, dude, heartbreaking. Don't play track. That's the moral of the story. Don't do it.
Yeah,
It's
don't run.
not worth it.
Yeah,
You'll
Pat.
just end up paying more than you bargained for, man.
That's exact. Yeah, you'll bring shame to the entire team. Do you have any like horror stories from your athletic days, Patrick?
No.
You don't?
Not that I can think of.
I
Patrick's
know.
as clean as they come.
Yeah, other than throwing up, he's perfect.
Do you remember? I don't know if Anthony was there because he might have been not on the soccer team. What was that pizza place called? Like Cece's Pizza or something
Cece's
like that?
Pizza.
Yeah, you were there then. I remember.
I think I was invited.
Yeah, I think you might. I think you were probably there. But anyways, the coach, like, it's like a celebration night for the soccer team because you're like, oh, whatever, just sports stuff. Like you gotta make every kid feel like they did something. So like the coach you all eat your pizza and whatever, and you're all like hanging out. But then the coach like one by one like gives a little bit of like a speech for like every kid, not really a speech, but like just says a couple words like, oh, this guy, he was always ready to fight, he wanted to get back on the field, and like whenever he fell down he got back up, and stuff like that, and everybody's was pretty uplifting. And then she went to me and she was like, Teddy is the only kid that I have ever seen who, when asked if he wants to like play again or get back into the field, just says, nah, like don't put me back in, like I don't want to do it. And that's all she said about me. And I was like, oh, okay.
That was your legacy?
That's my legacy. Not really wanting to play. I remember scoring, I think maybe one goal. I don't know. I don't think I did actually.
That's my
legacy then.
I hate that. I hate like getting shamed for that.
Yes. Oh, that's a lot. That's like what a lot I feel like of childhood is, dude. Growing up, you just like, oh, fuck that up, you idiot.
That's true, yeah. I don't know. I feel like on the one hand, part of me is like, no, that's bad for kids. I would never. And on the other hand, like, if I was a coach now for a bunch of 12-year-olds at my age, yeah, I might.
I'd waste them.
I might call one of them Irish for throwing up.
Yeah. Like, yeah, no, definitely. I don't think I'd be any better than any other coach I've ever been coached by.
But is it like, I don't know, were those experiences like formative for you? Like, were they good? Was there a takeaway?
My takeaway was, I don't like sports. I don't know why I go through this.
I think I came to the same conclusion. Yeah. Very young.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like doing this. Why?
I always thought like sports were too competitive. I didn't like it.
Yeah. I agree with that. I hated I like the social aspect of it. Having the team and like driving long distances in the bus, like to go to the games and stuff, and like practice was always kind of fun, but I hated playing in the games, bro. And I hated like the kind of competitive aspect between everybody. Just not really my thing. Just discovered that as a young boy.
I think I'm in the same boat. I've always hated competition, and I think that's what I hate the most about a lot of like organized sports, especially in middle school and high school, was the competition. Because people put so much weight on it for whatever reason. I don't know. It's middle school, so like,
yeah, it literally doesn't matter.
Yeah, your basketball championship doesn't change anything, but I guess it did. But I remember at a young age, my dad was like trying to get me to watch football with him. I'm like the only son, and so, I mean, my dad's a pretty athletic guy. He's a pretty like sporty kind of guy. So he was for a while trying to like see if there was some form of athleticism that I was interested in, and he showed me. We were watching football, and at some point, or maybe it was baseball, I can't remember, but I said like, I don't like this, Dad. How come someone has to lose? And I remember him looking at me like so incredulously, like. He wasn't disappointed, but like,
right.
That really is like the fundamental of sports. It's like, yeah, there's a winner and a loser, but here I am like, no, this is bad. Everyone should win.
Your dad's just like, damn it, man.
This podcast makes me sound like such a disappointment to my father. I promise I'm not.
In certain ways, you might be.
Yeah. I had the discussion with my dad recently where I was like, were you ever like disappointed that I wasn't like into running or into football or anything like that? And I remember he said, I didn't care what you did as long as you had friends. And I was like, thanks, yeah. Dad. Yeah, it's a nice bonding moment. I appreciated that.
Yeah, I feel like friends is what made the difference for stuff, like back then it was always bearable to like punish yourself by having to participate in sports just because the social aspect was pretty good, but I feel like the thing we enjoyed more, you and I, Anthony, at least, was the musicals in middle school.
Ooh,
that shit slaps, bro. I need to find some old DVDs. Should we watch those for one of our things? I know we bring this up like every fucking week, but I feel
know,
like
I want to. I'm just worried about like copyright issues and
arts
and showing faces. But
that's fair.
But I really want to watch those.
God damn it. But anyways,
because we did musicals.
We did.
And then Patrick, you did stage crew, right?
In high school, yeah.
Yeah,
You're talking about middle school. I didn't participate in the plays in middle school.
You weren't in anything?
Nope. I don't even think I've seen any of them.
Have you not?
Good for you.
I think I was.
I
think we like. I think like I saw like part of one, and then we had like leave. I don't know what it was. I think it was Beauty and the Beast or something.
Oh,
you didn't miss
classics.
anything. You didn't miss out on anything.
They all suck. The high school ones are the real gold. Especially my performance of Shrek compared to yours.
Oh, I've seen that though. Yeah,
cool.
I've seen. Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah.
I was live at
you
that
guys were there for that one.
Live.
I just was watching that with Maddie, and it's horrific, dude. It's really bad. Oh my god.
Did you see ours, Teddy?
Oh yeah, I saw yours in person. And before, because like you guys did it at your school, because we went to different high schools. We went to different high schools. Those two, Anthony and Patrick, went to a different high school than I did, and they did Shrek for their musical one year. And I think like the next year, or maybe even like the next semester, I can't remember, my school decides to do Shrek the musical for our show. And I think we even borrowed props from you guys and like stage sets and stuff. Like clearly just copied you and wanted to do that musical too. And man, dude, I remember Anthony was the role of Lord Farquaad. And I saw him live and I thought it was pretty good. I was like, damn, dude, like that looks like a fun role. Like that's sick. And so then when I heard it was Shrek the musical of mine, I was like, okay, I'll be Lord Farquaad, bro. But I was kind of still a little bit iffy about my singing, you know, because I wasn't that into acting as much at that point, but I kind of just wanted to be like Lord Farquaad just to like put up a little bit of competition for Anthony, or just to have something that we can kind of like talk about, you know? Whatever.
Yeah, and it's a fun role, yeah.
It's fun, and we could like compare it. I thought it'd be sick. And so I was kind of like, I was anxious about my singing. So I told my director, I was like, you know, I'm fine with not really getting a singing part also. I'm fine with just getting a small part. But then I told her after I performed, I was like, and I did my song and whatever. And she's like, oh, that was fine, or that good, or whatever. I was like, I actually kind of want the role of Lord Farquaad. Like, that's kind of what I want to get. And she's like, oh, that's great. Wow. Like, okay. I was like, sweet. And then this guy okay, so I should explain the point of the role of Lord Farquaad. He's supposed to, like, in the musical, he's supposed to stand on his knees, and like he has these little fake legs that make him look short. Right? Like, so that's what you wore, Anthony.
Yeah.
Oh, we should throw an image up.
I'll throw, it won't be a picture of me, but I'll throw an image of someone.
Yeah. There you go. And so I think the illusion works better on like people that are just kind of tall, or not really tall, but are just of, you know, a taller height, or, you know, because that's the illusion works better. So I was like, I'm in the role. I'm definitely going to get this. And then she emails me like a day later and she's like, I gave you the role of Pinocchio because it doesn't have too much singing. And I know that was a big deal for you. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll take the role of Pinocchio. Like, I guess I won't have to sing. That's fine. I guess I'll just like, she was like, it's a comedic role. Like, it's funny, whatever. So I was like, okay, whatever. And so the guy that ended up getting Farquaad was like the shortest guy in our high school. So like this literally maybe 5-foot guy was playing Lord Farquaad, and I was like, okay, so they just typecasted like that. Why did they do that? He was a good actor, you know. I'm not trying to bash him. If he's listening, you're great. but like I was like, okay, I feel a little robbed. And I was like, okay, so I guess they're not gonna have like the knee things, like the knee pant things, like that Anthony wore to make him short, because it really wouldn't. I feel like it wouldn't look as good, but they did, and he wore them during the play, and I was rewatching it like yesterday, and it doesn't look good at all because this guy is already so small that it just looks like he's walking around on his knees. You know, you can't tell with the illusion because the costume is literally too big on him. It looks terrible, and so I felt a little bit like, I don't know, not robbed, but I was like annoyed by that. And then Pinocchio, it turns out, has to hit this crazy high note in the in like the final song, in like one of the final songs. So like I did have to sing, and I had to learn how to sing this high note that I couldn't hit. Like I just couldn't do it. So every time I tried, I was like, I wasn't doing it, you know. So I had to get
his singing's like all falsetto. His singing is like all like high pitched.
Yeah, because I have to talk in the Pinocchio voice, which was like, "Oh, I'm Pinocchio." I don't know what it sounded like, something like that. And
it sounded like that.
I guess, and I had to sing like that, and like I didn't want to sing in the first place, and now I have to sing as high pitched as I can, and like I can't just screech the lyrics. Like I kind of have to sing them because otherwise it would just sound terrible, and so I just couldn't do it. And God, dude, that Pinocchio costume was awful. I am fine with throwing a picture of me in the Pinocchio costume up.
That was the scariest.
I need the world to see it.
It looked robotic. It didn't look human.
It's horrific, dude. And I remember, bro, I couldn't really take it off because I had to wear this big old like jumpsuit almost of like with this wooden texture around me that was so tight, and then I had to wear this jumpsuit, or not jumpsuit, but like these overalls over me that was the Pinocchio costume, and then I had to wear this mask that like plugged into this battery in my back so that they could control the nose getting bigger and longer, and they had to tuck that in through my costume so I couldn't take it off. And Pinocchio in this musical is only in like the very first scene, and like the very end. So every rehearsal and every performance, I just had to sit backstage in this like boiling hot Pinocchio costume, like sweating my ass off, dude. Like watching Captain America Civil War leaked clips during the performance. Yeah. I have nothing to do. I literally sit there for 2 hours and 30 minutes doing nothing. And then like during rehearsals, I'd have to be there for like 8 hours, you know? It was insane.
Patrick, we had a similar problem like that because there's one year where I didn't do the musical and I did backstage with Patrick and a couple of our friends, and there's this like weird part at the end of the play where nothing has to be moved on stage. It's like one consistent set piece like the rest of the show, and during like not quite the performances but like the big practices, like the night before the performances, we would just sneak out the back of the school and go to Subway and then come back before the final set change and eat like sandwiches beneath the stage.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Don't know what
my God, I'm so jealous of that. Yeah, I just sat there as Pinocchio.
You can't go anywhere. I had the same issues with the legs though.
Oh, you did? Did they not look good?
They looked fine, but I got typecast as well. There were only 3 guys who tried out for Shrek at my school.
Oh, and did they choose you because you were the shortest?
I was the shortest, yeah.
No way!
And the legs didn't quite fit.
Oh, interesting. I thought they looked good when I saw it. I thought they looked at least better than... I probably have a little bit of a warped perspective because the one in mine is just so bad that I feel like yours is just godly in comparison.
Oh, I've rewatched it and I can't, because I'm 14 and maybe I'm 15 at the time. I don't know. I'm in the throes of puberty and I can't hit the high notes and I can't sing particularly well to begin with. I know there's definitely one part where I'm supposed to hit a falsetto and say, you know, I think it's supposed to be like a parody of Wicked. It's like the ha ha ha, and it's like a high note like that. And I went to sing it and my voice just like cut out on me. So it's just silence. And I had to recover from it. And so I panic and I go, yeah, just to like try and save it. Keep in mind, this is the big finale. That's during a live performance, and that is the big finale to my largest musical number. That is a final note that I sing. So it's like awkward silence, and then me doing like a weird like Kool-Aid man, like yeah.
Oh
And that
That
turned
is
out to be the one that we recorded. So if you watch the footage, that is the song that we have.
yeah, I might have to watch that again, bro.
Do we have?
Oh
Is
my
that? Did we record the night that? I don't want to spoil the story. The night that the incident happened, Patrick. You know what I'm talking about? The one that happened to you on stage crew.
Incident for
Yeah,
Shrek?
with the rolling hill.
The rolling. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
was
know
that
what you're talking
recorded?
about now. I don't remember
Wait, what
why.
is this?
Yeah, tell the story.
I'm correct me if I'm wrong, Anthony. This has been a while since I remember this, but there's like a scene with like Donkey and Shrek, some like bonding scene, right? Because they have to like bond before, the final act or whatever.
Oh yeah,
And so I don't know, like I don't remember the context because I was backstage, so I literally never saw the play once. So I don't
I'll
I
tell you
don't
what
know
it
what
was.
happens.
It was
Yeah, tell me.
the Shrek musical number. Um, I can't remember the name of the song, but it's like the I guess I'd be a hero. Guess I'd be a hero
Oh, it
and
was that? Okay,
live a
yeah, it
life
was
of
that. Yeah,
Oh,
daring. So it's a
uh,
musical number, very long scene.
yeah. And then what's it called? So there's like this like hill. This like I don't know what it's made of, like mesh or something, like some hill that like a donkey jumps on or Shrek jumps on during this
Yeah.
scene. So before the scene changes, I had to roll it out, right? But and I
Yeah.
don't remember why, like I was late or something, so I couldn't get backstage in time before the lights came on. So I had to like dive under the thing and hide under the mound the entire scene. And I was just I was just trapped on stage. Like nobody saw me, so it didn't really matter. But like, or no, what's his name saw me? Shrek saw me.
Shrek.
Yeah, because like the what's it called is like one sided, right? Like it covers one side, but the back is open. So when Shrek walked out from behind the mound, he could see I was in there, and he looked so confused. But I had to be in there because I couldn't. I would have. They would have seen me. They would have. The crowd would have literally seen me running across the stage, just a
no
completely like
way.
just a person like with like black clothes on. It would just be weird. So
That's
That's
like my favorite
terrifying.
story.
and it's yeah,
Oh
it's like
my
a I don't know, like a 9-minute scene or something. So I was under there for a while.
It's a long time.
I, oh my god.
Like in this cramped little thing, but it worked. We didn't get caught, so
There you go, bro. I think that might have been at the performance that I went to and saw, honestly, because I remember I think you guys told me that like right after it ended, and I was talking to you guys.
I think
But
that's the recorded. That might be the one that's on film.
good.
I bet you
want to
could
see.
see
I
it
want to see if
happen.
you can see me. Yeah, if like you can see me dive under it.
Under.
Yeah.
There was, I think there's one night, there's one performance where like everything went wrong, and I remember there's one song that I sing. Um, I can't remember the name of it, but I'm in a bathtub. Originally in the script, I'm lifting weights, but I don't. I guess they assumed that I just couldn't do that or something. So
I know it's gonna happen. Yeah.
they cut that part out. So instead of me being on like a bench with like a barbell, it's me in a bathtub. Um, and then as I start singing the song, this bathtub is supposed to open up. It's got like hinges on the back and a latch, and it opens up to reveal me fully clothed. And I walk out and start singing.
Right.
And I'm the one that lifts the latch. And there's one night where like the latch wouldn't open, and I'm like panicking because I'm missing like my dancing cues and all that. I'm supposed to be out there on my knees, like kicking a jig. And I can't get out of this
Right.
bathtub, and I panic. So I just break it. I break the latch. I like rip it open. So jokes on them for thinking I wouldn't be able to lift weights because I could break open a wooden bathtub. But
Come on.
turns out that was like a rented prop.
Oh
Did you have
shit.
to pay for it?
Nobody knew that it was me that broke it. I did not
Okay,
speak up on the matter.
Smart move. That's a very smart move.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Shrek was a good time. It was a funny musical.
dude.
Well,
Crazy. Do you
we
remember
very.
seeing, what were you about to say?
I was just gonna say, you and I have very different. Like your perspective on Shrek is very different than Patrick and I's perspective on Shrek.
Oh yeah, mine was horrific. Like mine was the worst experience of my life, having to be Pinocchio. I guess that's just the curse of Pinocchio.
I think Pinocchio's a cursed position.
I think so. Like as soon as I became Pinocchio, I just, I became depressed. I'll be honest with you. That's what did it for me. It's like, I became Pinocchio, and then like I was just aware of the sins of humanity, all in an instant, dude.
It's like Majora's Mask. There's a lot of like evil within that Pinocchio mask.
Exactly. No, exactly. But do you remember after my Shrek performance, you two were there. You guys saw it, and I think maybe someone else. But we all like my mom picked us up in her minivan or whatever, and we all like went to my house and ate pizza, and then we went and saw Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah.
AMC. And I remember, dude, like that night, the morning of that performance, I woke up like sick. Like I just woke up sick, like just not feeling good at all. Turns out I had a fever, bro. And so I performed that night with a fever, and then I went and saw like Captain America: Civil War with a crazy fever, bro. And I can barely even remember watching it now because I was so out of it back then. But I remember how excited I was to go see it. So like I was pretending I was really trying to like hold back how bad I felt because I was like, I have to see Civil War with the boys. Like this is the ultimate comic book moment, like comic book movie moment. We have to do this, Meanwhile, I'm like passing away in the movie theater, like slowly dying. Everyone's like cheering.
I
and
think,
shit.
dude, is at the end of that movie. Is that the scene with Thanos, or is that a different one?
What
where he
was
grabs the gauntlet out of like a, I don't know what it's in.
Is that when he says,
You know what I'm
"Fine, I'll
talking
do
about?
it myself"?
Yeah, that.
It's in Age of Ultron.
Oh God,
Maybe.
did I see
That's
that with
like
you too?
You've only seen 2 Marvel movies with us, and they were Age of Ultron and Civil War.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
At the end of Age of Ultron, after that final scene, like, because I had no idea who Thanos was, so I'm like, who is that guy?
The big.
And I remember Teddy, you knew all the lore about him, and you knew like what the next movies were gonna be. Like,
I was
you
so
were the
into it, bro.
yeah.
I was the Marvel boy back then. I think Anthony and I were pretty into it. I was super into DC. I was like a big DC shill, but I was into both. I liked Marvel a lot, but I was always like the big DC guy. To my detriment, bro. In the end.
But granted,
is this true, Teddy?
Yeah, but this is a time where this is before DC was DC film. Like this is before everything had come out. So this was like maybe it'll be good. And a little after Justice League, he was a big fan.
After what's it called? What's the Suicide Squad? Anthony told me that you thought that movie was good, Teddy.
I know.
Is that
true? Patrick, I'll confess it. I'll confess it to you, Patrick. It's true. But now
it's okay.
Listen,
I've never even seen it, so I can't make any judgments on it. I just take it on authority that it's bad.
Man. I'm a changed man now, Patrick. I see the sins that I did. And the weight of it is it's so heavy on my shoulders. I used to defend like Batman versus Superman in our group chat. We'd have like huge fights about it, I remember.
It's true.
And like Suicide
Instagram
Squad.
debates.
Yeah, Kevin and I saw Suicide Squad like twice, or maybe like 3 times, like just trying to convince ourselves that it was good. It's not. It's horrific. It's like the worst shit ever put on film, possibly, except for the crocodile part where he like goes into the sewer and he's like, "I was born in the sewer."
Born in the sewer. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, there's I feel like Suicide Squad gave us some really funny moments. Like, there's that one guy. He's like, I think his name is Rick Flag. He's kind of like a southern. I don't know what his accent is, but they're on a helicopter, so he's kind of yelling, but like the sound of the helicopters turned down significantly compared to like his voice. So the scene already sounds kind of weird. And he says like, "This is Katana. She traps the souls of her enemies in her sword." And just like the way he said it is so funny.
Oh my god. That's really funny.
What about the Joker in that movie?
Oh, he's great.
Oh my god.
That's
so good. That's the best Joker yet put on film.
I've seen the scene just on YouTube, like a clip of the part where like she chases after him on a motorcycle. You know what I'm talking about?
Gee.
Harley
Quinn?
Quinn, yeah. She like chases after Joker and like stops him on the highway. You know what I'm talking about? That scene? It's
No.
really cringy.
Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
Is
I
it
don't
like a
remember
deleted scene?
I don't know. I just remember seeing it on YouTube and all the comments were like, "This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life."
It was pretty
I
bad.
just found it, bro. Every single scene with that Joker is terrible.
What's his really cringy line from that movie? Like, "I'm an idea" or something. That one.
Oh, he does
Yeah,
say that.
yeah. Where he's like, "I'm an idea." Like,
Wait, Patrick,
that's
this is like an animated scene. It's like a
No, this is. No, this is not. This is real.
Wait, Harley Quinn chasing Joker scene, Suicide Squad. I have to watch this. I feel like I've blocked most of this movie out of my mind.
yeah. I've blocked a lot of Batman versus Superman out of my mind, dude. It was a traumatic experience.
Oh, is this the part where they put a gun to the Joker's head and he's like, "Do it. Do it. My heart scares you and a gun doesn't?"
What? Oh my god.
Wow, that's the top quoted line in the comments. And
Oh.
the one next to it is, "This Joker deserves a second chance in the future."
No. No. Get rid of him. They did.
Not-
They did.
I don't know, maybe he should like come back.
Did you see the trailer for the next Batman? The new Batman, whichever Batman it is now, Robert Pattinson Batman.
I did not watch the trailer. Oh, no, I did watch the trailer. Yeah. I think it looks kind of good.
What
Yeah, it looks alright.
the new Batman movie? That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Robert Pattinson one. The Robert Pattinson one.
They have like, I think the Riddler is like a serial killer type character. I think that's really interesting. And it'll be cool
Yeah.
to see a villain that
God, the
hasn't.
Riddler.
Well, he's not going to be like the Jim Carrey skin tight suit, like, "Riddle me this, Batman." Like, it's not going to be that.
Isn't it Paul Dano? Like,
I
Isn't
think it is
that-
Paul Dano, yeah.
yeah. And he was like, what do I know him from?
There Will Be Blood.
Oh yeah, yes, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, I could see it maybe.
Yeah, he's
I'm
like
down for that.
he's an accredited actor. He's good.
Yeah, he is pretty good. He plays a whiny little like bitch really well. And I guess he could really pull off like a Riddler type deal. See it?
I never
That'd
saw
be
There Will Be
interesting.
Blood. I
We
don't know
talked
what
about it
that...
before, but what were your thoughts on the what's it called again? The new Justice League? Or
Oh.
the different cut or whatever it was called?
Oh, the
Snyder cut?
Snyder cut. The Snyder cut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
they
do you think
released
about
it.
that? Do you think that's gonna be bad or good?
Oh, it's gonna be awful.
Terrible. Horrible. Terrible. It's gonna suck. Well,
There's no
I think
redeeming.
it'll be better than the actual Justice League, like the one they released. I think it might be better than that, just because the one they released is so chopped up because they fired Zack Snyder during like filming, and they had to like
True.
film the rest of it, and they cut out a bunch of his shit and like color corrected a bunch of his shit. Like, you know, whatever. I'm not defending Zack Snyder's movies. I think they suck. There's probably not a single good one. Maybe there is, but Zack Snyder, fuck you. Your movies suck. but I don't know. I think it'll be better than what we saw in the theaters. Maybe. I think there's a chance it could be better. But like, I feel like better as in like maybe Batman v Superman level. Because I think Batman v Superman is at least a little bit more enjoyable to watch than Justice League. I saw Justice League one time and I was like, wow. Like that was something else, you know, like that was like really, really bad.
I think everything I need to know about the new Justice League anything is summed up by the fact that in the trailer they have Batman say the line, he's like, "He hasn't faced all of us, not us united." And everyone in the comments was like, "Now this is the Batman I want to see.
This is the real Batman."
That's awful writing. That's a really
It's all bad, dude. Like just
no one
comic
speaks like that. Maybe Superman would speak like that because he's like an alien person who doesn't understand customs. Bruce Wayne's like 100% human. He's no excuse for acting like that.
Maybe you just uncovered a game theory, Anthony.
Game
Maybe
theory.
he's Superman all along.
That's my game theory. Or film theory. They've started a second channel for film theory.
It's not as good as the second is never as good as the original,
What I'm saying.
except for Shrek 2.
Oh,
Shrek 2
Shrek
is
2's
better
really
than
good.
Shrek 1. I will state that right now.
I genuinely enjoy Shrek 2. There's a part where they like sneak into the potion
Brilliant.
shop and they act like
Yeah.
union workers and they joke about how the workers don't have dental coverage. That's a weird joke for a kids movie, but very funny.
It's so weird. That movie's great. And they have like that big gingerbread man. I really like that guy.
That
Like
scene
God.
terrified me. You see when they like pour milk on him and he like drowns?
Yeah, they pour boiling like hot milk on him.
Yeah,
He's like dying.
he like dies in like the lake or whatever around the,
Yeah, they break his
the
arms
moat
off
or whatever, and then
Yeah,
like I think in like the credits he starts singing at the end.
He's
like,
singing at the
underwater.
bottom of the moat.
Yeah.
He is. I think he's
That,
singing.
I don't know
like,
why that guy just terrified me because he was giant. I think I was just scared of huge things, like kill people. I don't know.
Because he gets big and he's like not speaking proper English. So he's like, oh, but he's like he's gingy.
Oh my god,
It's
dude.
very frightening.
That movie slaps, bro. And it's like, isn't it? It's like supposed to be L.A., but it's like Fantasyland, L.A.
Yeah, it's like far, far away or something like that.
God, that's so good.
And it's
Really?
it's a parody of like Hollywood culture.
That's great.
So what about
I need
Shrek
to
3?
watch Shrek. No,
Shrek, you're the only person I know who remembers that movie, Patrick. That movie sucked.
I don't remember.
It was
a
the
lot of
only
it,
one
though.
we had.
It's so bad.
We didn't have
watched
Shrek 1 and
3.
Shrek 2 on like that's the only one we watched is Shrek 3, like over and over.
No.
You grew
That's
up with the Dada scene.
Yeah, I did. And, like the wizard guy who like eats rocks in like the wilderness.
You mean Merlin?
Like the homeless guy? Yeah, him.
Wizard Merlin?
Wasn't that like a parody of like college culture and like universities
yeah.
and stuff? What the
There
heck?
are
Like, we've definitely talked about this on the podcast before, but it was like the scene at the college with like the hotboxing and like the carriage.
that's like the best that's the best joke in the whole movie.
Oh, that's hilarious! Wow, I barely remember anything from that movie except for that
I also remember like
horrifying
at the end,
scene.
they think that Shrek dies. That like
Oh, the fake out stab, yeah.
yeah, the fake out like
Oh,
stab
yeah.
through his chest, and then he's just fine.
I do remember that.
Yeah, how did that happen? Because it looks like he just plunges the sword right into him, like, and it just
He
missed.
was wearing a mithril armor,
Oh, okay,
mithril chain,
makes
or
sense.
whatever.
He's fighting Prince Charming on stage at like Prince Charming's acting class. I don't know why that was there. And
Yeah.
they stab Shrek with the sword, but it's really behind him. He's holding it with like his arm opposite of the audience. So it looks
Which
like he
makes
gets
no
stabbed.
sense. Why did he pretend to like die?
To trick Prince
He's such a
Charming or
role-
something.
He's such a role player.
He
Shrek.
is. And like,
Shrek was LARPing.
how does the momentum of that work? Like, because he comes lunging at him, right? And he like comes lunging with the sword, and Shrek just like,
Shrek was
What?
it was connected to a chain, I remember, and he was like pulling it. So
was
like
pulling him
he
around.
should have
and then,
died.
like,
That wouldn't trick Prince Charming. Like he's at an angle
Yeah.
where he can definitely see that Shrek was not injured at all.
Dude, I feel like you'd feel that. Like you'd feel if you had stabbed somebody through or not.
Yeah,
you know?
not
like,
just like caught on
if
his
you missed
arm.
it, like you
The
keep
human body
going.
definitely provides some resistance that was lacking from that scene.
It's not even a human body. It's like a Shrek body, you know, like
Like,
stronger than a
resistance.
human, yeah.
exactly. So like I feel like you'd only be able to plunge it like maybe a couple inches into his gullet, you know, and enough to maybe kill him, but like definitely not as much as a regular human. He'd have to really go in with full force. So I feel like if he missed, he would just go flying like the other way, you know. But apparently that's what happens, and Shrek just manages to make him think that he stabbed him. You know what? You know what? Shrek 3 sucks. Fuck Shrek 3.
What about Shrek 4 though?
That
Fuck
one's
Shrek 4.
the guy looks like Shane Dawson. That's
It's so
all
weird.
I
I
remember.
hate that movie. I tried to
true.
rewatch it and I had to turn it off because it just weirded me out.
It's also like
didn't like the
40 minutes
villain.
long. It's like a it's like hardly a film.
I don't think it is actually. I think I looked it up like a year ago, Anthony. I think it's like normal movie length. It's like an hour 15 or something. It's
Oh,
definitely on like the
really?
shorter end, I think, from what I remember. But like, I think it's just because it was so boring. It just went by so fast, you know. We just thought it was
so
like
boring.
super quick. I don't know.
Oh, it's an hour.
It just doesn't have the. It doesn't have like the same like feeling as the first three, you know.
Oh, it does not.
It feels like it's like a waste. They're like in a wasteland the entire movie. It's just odd.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, they're fighting like a orc revolution, ogre revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like Rumpelstiltskin, like that's the villain, right? I didn't just make that
Yeah.
up.
He
Okay.
like
Yeah,
gives them the wish, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it like
He, like,
changes history
He
or
like
whatever.
is that the one where he yells at the kid at the birthday party? He like Shrek like screeches at a child.
That
Do
is.
the roar.
Do the roar.
That's the fourth, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the one.
four.
Yeah.
Did they make 5, or is that the one being made, or is
That's
or
in
is
the
it
works.
It's in the works.
a reboot? Is it a reboot?
I've heard rumor, but I don't know who to trust.
I don't know how they continue the story after.
Maybe they do like
Rumpelstiltskin.
the children of Shrek.
Oh,
I hope not.
I really hope not.
That would be bad, yeah.
Terrible.
They should send
Hey.
Shrek to a new land.
Send him to
Send them
hell.
to